In every Brooklyn Guy story I've animated, you can always expect Brooklyn Guy to end his story with a big bang. Whether that's accidentally marrying Deborah because of a slip-up, a turtle beating him in a race, or even when his head exploded after Miss Thickum showed him how she was wearing green, his story's endings always keep you shocked. Although sometimes, his stories reveal an even darker, tragic side. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 5 stories Brooklyn Guy has told that ended in complete tragedy. Let's begin.
So when I was a kid, I was the hide-and-seek champion. All my friends would come over and we'd play hide-and-seek and no one could ever find me. They'd always yell, "We give up," and I'd pop out of my hiding spot, the champion. But then, this one kid showed up, his name was hide-and-seek Zeke. See, Zeke, he could hide in places no other human being could possibly fit in. It's like he had no bones, he could just slither into hiding spots like a snake. There was this one time, I was looking for Zeke for an entire 24 hours and I finally gave up. And Zeke jumped out of a fucking toaster. I know that sounds physically impossible, but it's true. I don't know how the he did it. And when it was Zeke's turn to seek, he would find everyone in seconds. Just gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Zeke was the new hide-and-seek champion. So this one time, Zeke was seeking, and I ran out of my house, hopped on a train to Boston, stowed away on a steamboat to London, changed my name to London Guy, got plastic surgery to change my entire face, and still, Zeke found me. I was so pissed. So I decided to hide cameras in my house, and we played hide-and-seek again, and I saw Zeke hiding a box of Fruit Loops. So I lit my house on fire and I ran out. So in high school, there was this kid named Gary, and he loved to eat glue. Every time you looked at him, he was squeezing a bottle of Elmer's glue in his mouth. For lunch, he'd bring a lunchbox full of glue. Nothing but glue. And he'd eat it. Bro was constantly in the bathroom, constipated from all the glue in his ass. Everybody would point at him and say, "Glue eater, glue ass." But he loved it. He didn't care what anyone thought of him. And I thought that was pretty cool. So I asked him to go to Applebee's with me, and I ordered the mozzarella sticks. But he brought glue sticks, and he just chomped on them. But we became good friends. But he died the way you'd expect someone who ate glue would die. A skydiving accident. You see, we had a senior skydiving trip at my school, and you had to pick a partner and pack your own stuff, and he said, "Don't forget the parachutes," but I thought he said pair of shoes. So when he jumped out of the plane and he went to deploy his parachute, a pair of Nike Air Jordans came out and he hit the ground and died. I was so confused because they were Air Jordans, but I guess that didn't matter. So I didn't jump out after I saw what happened. But his tombstone was the shape of a bottle of glue. Elmer's paid for all the funeral costs. So when I was in middle school, there was this kid named Rides the Bus Rudy, and he was always riding the bus. Even when we got to school, he just wouldn't get off the bus. He just stayed on and rode wherever. Every morning, he was in a new seat. And if someone said, "Hey, Rudy, you're in my seat," he'd put on his seatbelt and say, "I don't see your name on it," and he wouldn't move. He would also stand up in the aisle while the bus was moving, and the driver would stop the bus and say, "I'm not driving until everyone's sitting down. That means you, Rudy." She sounded like that because she smoked, you know? And then I'd be like, "Rudy, sit your ass down so we could go," but Rudy just wouldn't listen. Then, this one time, Rudy was leaning up against the emergency exit door in the back of the bus, and we went over a speed bump, and Rudy fell out of the bus, and he got hit by a car. He was roadkill Rudy after that. So when I was in high school, there was this kid named Willie, and he loved wisdom teeth. I'm talking, he was obsessed with them. He had a wisdom teeth shirt, wisdom teeth glasses, a wisdom teeth hat. This freak had a wisdom teeth shrine in his locker. He even sold wisdom teeth merch, so he could make enough money to buy people's wisdom teeth when they got them removed. He was like the wisdom tooth fairy. He thought if he got enough wisdom teeth, he could blend them all up into a big wisdom teeth smoothie, and it would make him the smartest kid in the world. He would even eat a bowl of wisdom teeth like cereal. He called them wisdom teeth O's. One day, his wisdom teeth started to come in, and he didn't want to get them removed because he thought it was a sign from God that he was the smartest kid in the world from all the wisdom teeth he'd been consuming. But then, his wisdom teeth got so big, he looked like a walrus-looking motherfucker. He was literally almost cast in the live-action remake of the movie Ice Age as Manny the Mammoth. His wisdom teeth got so big, he couldn't even open his mouth to eat. They had to drill a hole through his teeth and put a straw through it to feed him. He eventually ended up starving to death when he realized he didn't like soup. So when I was in high school, there was this kid named Stuck in a Cave Dave. He was always getting stuck in caves. He loved it. Every chance he got, he would go get stuck in a cave. It wasn't about cave diving for Dave. It was about getting stuck. He really loved it when the rescue workers had to come get him unstuck with their winches and drills, and every time they would pull him out, he would run right back in and get stuck. They would have to seal off every cave with cement after they rescued him just so he wouldn't go back in. But that didn't stop Dave. He would always go find a new cave to go get stuck in. Eventually, his parents locked him in his room and grounded him, but he would just wedge himself in between the mattress headboard and the wall just to get stuck. But one day when we were in class, Dave snuck out through the classroom window. And then he went to Nutty Putty Cave and he got stuck upside down 150 feet underground in this 10-inch wide hole. He was completely stuck. Rescue workers tried saving him for hours, and they even lowered a phone to him with a rope so he could talk to his family. But he ended up playing Angry Birds with his nose, and eventually they realized saving him wasn't worth it because he would just go get stuck somewhere else. So they sealed him up in the cave while he played Angry Birds.